Good morning. Just getting everything set up here. It's great to see you. This has been a week, huh? So sticking with the program, as they say, let's go ahead and salute the day. It's November 13th, 2016, Sunday, 10:30 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go ahead and salute yourself. The morning thus far, everything that's allowed you to get to here, food, other people's talents, your will, God's will, and just sit in the luxuriousness of silence for a moment. And go ahead and salute yourself, the space you're in, fellow travelers, teachers seen and unseen, and wish us all a nice few moments together. Okay, I am going to address the week with the sheer intention of calling you to task, challenging you, and showing you potentially the way out of your hell. The topic today is hatred. The level of hatred that I've seen this last week, especially from people who proclaim to be spiritual practitioners, has made me distressed. Because a lot of these people are my students or clients. There is no justifiable hatred. There is nothing that justifies hatred. Nothing. I'm going to read a few things. Bear with me. And I'm speaking out of a deep love and devotion to you to rise the bar, to get the bar up. Be in the world, but not of the world. That means what it means. And I realize that everyone's at different levels of understanding, but I have a responsibility to call certain things out here. This is Vivekananda. The secret of restraint. So it's about taking the energy that you're feeling, the hatred, the rage, the anger, and using it to strengthen your spiritual backbone. Pardon me. All outgoing energy following a selfish motive is frittered away. It will not cause power to return to you, but if restrained, it will result in development of power. This self-control will tend to produce a mighty will, a character which makes a Christ or a Buddha. Foolish men do not know the secret. They nevertheless want to rule mankind. And I'm not just talking about one particular political party, but I am talking this notion that you are right over someone else's belief. And I know my tone is intense today, but this is the way it is. As man, you are a threefold being, mind, body, and soul. If either is missing, you are a seed without fertility. If the life force of a tomato is not within a seed, it cannot sprout and fulfill its destiny. It's caring for all three, keeping in harmony, not letting something take over. I will read that at the end. I have a practice I'm going to offer you. But before I get there, I'm going to read this to you. This is from Matthew 7, verse 13. The narrow and wide gates. I quote this in Get Down Your Journey Through the Master Wound book. Enter through the narrow gate, for wide is the gate and broad is the road that leads to destruction, and many enter through it. But small is the gate and narrow the road that leads to life, and only a few find it. Because the challenge is that is the challenge. To practice restraint, mercy, turning the mirror inward, participating in what's happening, but with grace and discipline. And if you don't hear this or you don't want to hear this, that's fine. You know I don't care. But to those who want to hear it, hear it. Once you have conquered in yourself the tendency to separate and be separated, at last you will be able to apply wisdom to the process of discernment. Instead of harsh and daunting labels, such as right and wrong, you may discern in terms of loving allowance and loving disallowance. The example is, consider the rattlesnake. Can you allow it to live in the desert, where it may serve its place in nature, and yet disallow it to take up residence in your backyard? There is a time and a place for all things, and discernment is the act of loving allowance and loving disallowance. There is a reason for things happening the way they're happening. And if you could just pull back and reflect on what opportunity is being provided for you personally from the decisions of this last week around politics. But what is the opening? What is the gift for you? What is being offered to you? All I'm seeing is Master Wound Central on steroids. People projecting. And that's part of the process too. Do it until you don't want to do it. But here's my thing. I'm going to tell you. All right, I'm almost going to release you in a minute. If you don't want to let your hatred go, if you still are justifying it, even your rage, here's my invitation to you. I want you to go to the bathroom. I want you to lock yourself in there. I want you to look in the mirror. And I want you to spew that right into the mirror to whomever, whatever it is that you're hating right now or angry at. And I want you to do it until you can't do it anymore, until you actually see that you are that, and that all the hatred and vitriol and justified rage is coming at you, baby, like a rocket out of outer space. You better get ready. It's coming your way. If not in this lifetime, the next fucking 1,000. If you are a student of spiritual practice, it's going to come to you sooner, and you be grateful. You stand there in that mirror and you spew that at yourself until your heart cracks open and you're able to see the humanity of the thing you were hating, the pain of the thing you were hating, the commonality, the spark of God. And if you can't do that, and if you don't want to do that, well, then that's just fine. You have a seat next to Satan himself, in the theater of hell, where all that's showing is the thing you're hating. That's the only movie showing. And you know what you get to eat? Your little rancid fucking cup of rancid ego popcorn. And you know what you get to drink? Poisonous vitriol that's killing your spiritual essence. That's what you get. No problem. Either way, it's going to take you to your knees until your heart cracks open. That's my invitation. Rumi, the guest house. This being human is a guest house. Every morning, a new arrival, a joy, a depression, a meanness. Some momentary awareness comes at an unexpected visitor. Welcome and entertain them all. Even if they're a crowd of sorrows, you violently sweep your house, empty of its furniture. Still, treat each guest honorably. He may be clearing you out for some new delight. The dark thought, the shame, the malice, meet them at the door laughing and invite them in. Be grateful for whoever comes, because each has been sent as a guide from beyond. And that goes for the external world as well. I humbly present Sunday salutations. Your deepest love and aloha. Thank you.